Lauri Flaquer of Soltar Solutions, and I'm here today on Focus Forward with Lisa Cortes of the Amazon Explosion. And what we're going to be talking about today is product sourcing. Lisa, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to meet up with you and talk and share what we know.
Well, I can't wait for this show. I think this is going to be amazing. Tell us a little bit about product sourcing. First of all, what is it? And then beyond that, how does one do it?
Oh, great questions as always. Well, product sourcing when you're selling on Amazon is probably the number one thing that's going to make you some money because there are a lot of products. This is where generally people get very bogged down when they decide that they want to learn how to sell on Amazon because there's so many possibilities. So, product sourcing is determining what types of products you're good at selling and then going from just buying what you can find on clearance or sale to sourcing them from somewhere that you can get them on a regular basis and reorder, because that is going to take you from one level of the entry level of getting into selling on Amazon to really that next level of growing your business. So that's what product sourcing is.
So we start out on Amazon generally. I'm going generalization here, arbitrage, running from store to store to find something to sell. Then after we find out what things are actually selling, then we're sourcing. We're running from, if it's Target, one Target after the other all around to get 5 of those things at each Target, bringing them home, wrapping them up, and sending them to Amazon. So that's like the first step. Then we go into where can I get more of this widget? So that's what product sourcing actually is, right?
Exactly. And that, again, that's the important step because if you're good at selling the widget, you want to sell as many of those widgets as you can. So you're not constantly spending time to run around to 5 different stores to source the clearance item. Would you like to see an example of what sourcing is and how a good way to do it? What is a good way to do it?
Sure.
Okay. So I went on a little arbitrage trip at lunch the other day because I have some bags that I want to fill with beauty products. So I started out by going to a really high-end store to see what types of items they had out for the season that might fit into my little pencil bag. As I looked around and scanned, I saw a lot of different things. And so from there, I just got ideas about color, about what types of products. There were pencil sharpeners for eyeliner makeups, there were tweezers, there were eyelash curlers, all sorts of small size little things that I could put in these pencil style makeup bags, which are, small little bags. They're not the larger bags. So I thought, oh, what great ideas. So, of course, that store is expensive that I went into because I wanted to go to the high-end experience. And that store doesn't frequently have items on sale. So then I walked myself over to a lesser cost store, which here it's called Ross. Some of them are TJ Maxx, Burlington Coat Factory. They sell a variety of things, sometimes higher end things, sometimes lower end things. It's where a lot of stores send their products when they're not moving or selling. So I went over to Ross here in Seattle. So what I ended up finding were these tweezers that I really liked. They were a great color that matched my bag. I like the quality of the product. I'm actually going to use one of the products. So now that I have an idea, this is still called the arbitrage portion of it because I went out and I scouted at a local store something that I could get off of the retail space. But if I want to start selling in quantity, I need to find out where I can buy these items at a good price for the quantity. So after I test them and decide that this is a quality product that I'd like to carry, it's as simple as looking on the back of the package, and I'm going to try to avoid showing what I purchased it for. Let me see, here's my camera. Oh, there it is. And on the back of the package, you can see the information doesn't look clear from where you're at, but I found the information of the company that makes these. So I went and I did a search online for this company's information, and sure enough, I found it and I was able to contact them. Well, guess what? This company sells these products wholesale. So now I've just increased my ability to order this product, which will suit my needs very well, and I'll be able to order them in bulk in the quantities that I need. And it's something that eventually I can streamline and really start making money, because I'm not going to have to go discover new tweezers every time I go to the store, or I buy a beauty product and I want to pair it with tweezers. Now I'll have a source that I can routinely and regularly order from.
So, question about that. Do you have to buy like 30,000 pairs of tweezers, or is it a manageable amount?
It is a manageable amount, and this is the interesting portion. So as you go through the steps of selling on Amazon, the first one being arbitrage, the next one being wholesale, people really want to quickly jump into private labeling, and that is a really great step, and it's definitely where you're headed. But when you order and you source from the types of places that allow you to private label, they make their money in selling you in bulk. So you're going to have to order thousands. And if you only order hundreds of things or less than hundreds, then of course the price to you increases. So this is a really manageable way of getting fairly local. This company happens to be in Canada, but they can still get me items in 2 to 3 days instead of, you know, 10 to 15 to 60 days out if you're sourcing out of the country. And so Canada is out of the country. However, to me, it's local. I'm in Washington State, so it doesn't take them very long to ship to where I'm at. And it's very possible to find some other products that I found. I've even found products made in the USA. And when I contact the companies and talk to them, I'm able to wholesale and buy in smaller quantities, and perhaps not as great a price as either from China or some other country where I can source in bigger quantities, but it's manageable for me as I'm growing my business.
So I love what you're saying. Manageable for you as you're growing your business. So no matter what you're doing with Amazon, it's a really good idea to keep it manageable, because we know, both of us know people that they jumped in with all their money and they sourced something, thousands of an item in China, and weren't able to sell them. So it's a
Yeah.
very good idea to keep it manageable as you grow.
And that's absolutely true. And the other thing about ordering, we'll use China as the example because that's the one I have experience with. In order to get a good detail, you have to buy thousands of one product. Sometimes they'll sell you a box of multiple colors, but when you do that, you don't always know what the colors are. So particularly if you're doing what you and I do often, which is bundling, then you really want to know that you're going to be able to get the same thing over and over. Well, in China, if you switch colors, or if you add or subtract one, little thing, you have to buy all of one item in their minimum quantity, which frequently is 1,000. In some instances, it's 12,000. In some instances, it's even more than that. So if I can find a manageable, like for instance, right now I'm making packs of items of 24 just so that I can test something to see if it's going to go well. If it's going to go as well as I want it to, initially I just need the 24. I don't need to order 5,000 of them yet. But then after I do test it and it goes as well as I think, then I might need hundreds, maybe 1,000, but it's going to be a little bit before I can start turning over. And I don't want all of my money to be stuck in one product in one place, because I'm trying to get multiple products up so I can start getting more buyers and reviews and that type of thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of times what people say that they have an issue with is they'll buy something from China, 3 months their money is tied up that they haven't even received it. After they receive it, it sells quickly. Then they have another 3 months to order more product. Then that money is tied up. There's a big lag between the time when they've sold out and they can get their next shipment. So that's another issue. So Lisa, if you could just give us 3 tips that anyone would keep in mind who are interested or at this phase in their business when they want to start sourcing products?
Well, stay within a budget. If you have more money to spend and you don't know the process of what it takes to find good products, and if you're interested, please ask us about. There is a whole process about how to find good products that are sellable. So my number one tip is just don't put all of your money in one basket. Start small. If you have a lot of money, you're just going to make bigger mistakes if you don't learn the process of how to select a good product. The number two is grow at your pace. There's definitely going to be moments when you're ready pretty much for the next step, but the next step is really just a little more complicated than what you're able to handle. As you're growing, you're a small business. There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of things to learn. So take things at a step. You're going to grow. You're going to make money. And don't get so anxious that you make a misstep in trying to move forward too quickly. And then lastly, ask questions. Don't think you know it all. Take risks. Trust yourself. If you think there's a good product and you need to make a choice about it and you end up making the wrong choice, at least you're starting to learn to trust your own instincts. And that's the number one key that I love to teach people. And what I love most about selling on Amazon is that I really learned to trust myself, to know good business, to know good products, and to know when it's time to move forward.
I love it. Thank you so much. Great advice, as always. It's wonderful having you. Thanks for coming on today.
We'll talk to you soon, and check us out on the Amazon Explosion because we're coming all over. Lauri and I have really put together just a fabulous way to show people how to learn, hands-on way to learn, because it takes a little bit to understand all of this new process that you're doing, but it is definitely profitable.
It is definitely profitable. So thanks so much for tuning in today. That was Lisa Cortes of the Amazon Explosion. It was really wonderful to be able to get her on talking about something that she knows very, very, very well, which is product sourcing. I hope you've enjoyed the show. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. Take care. Bye-bye.